The most anticipated show of your week.
That's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Keep It a Buck Podcast. What's going on, good people? This is episode 3 of the Keep It a Buck Podcast. I am your host with the most, DJ Impossible. Sitting across from me, as always, is my co-host, E.
The
bad guy.
Yes. Here we go. One more time.
When we're in the books.
That's right. What's going on, man? How we doing today?
We're doing pretty good. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it right now. I got a topic for us to start on.
Let's do it.
All right, bet. So, topic today: time versus money. Right. So let me read this that I saw. Okay. Given the choice between more time or more money, which would you pick? For a beach vacation, you might pay more for a direct flight to gain a couple of extra hours getting sand between your toes. But on the other hand, you might take a better paying job that requires late nights at the office. The value of money is easy to quantify, but it's way harder to put a value on the amount of time that would be lost. So my question is, would you rather have more time or more money? And explain why.
Well, I would say time.
All right.
Because you need time to do a lot of things.
That's true.
If you have a lot of things to do, that's what I'm trying to say. If you have a lot of things to do, we need time.
Okay.
Like, for example, you wake up in the morning, you have to make time for everything that you do. From brushing your teeth to eating breakfast, putting your clothes on, everything else.
I agree with that. I agree with Tom. First, let me go ahead and say I do agree with you on time.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you have to make time. Time's something you can't get back. You can always get more money back. So I agree with you on that. But if you could go any place in time, or any time in time, where would you go?
I would choose to go back to the 80s.
I love when people say they want to go back in time. Time travel's a thing. Where do you want to go? I'm going back. What? And I know why people say that.
Because of the memories, man.
Nah, it's because they don't know what's in the future. They're afraid of it. They're afraid of the unknown. That's what it is.
Do you think that if we had a time traveling machine and you go to the future, do you think that would be something you want to see?
Of course.
Well, why would you want to see the future?
Well, so you know, I'll give you a perfect example. So Pharrell Williams made a song that has yet to be released. It's supposed to be released 100 years from now. And it's made on a special clay vinyl. But the way that it's set up is if we don't fix our planet with pollution and all this global warming and everything like that, over time, it's going to erode the vinyl. And me personally, I know I'm not going to be here in 100 years from now, because, I mean, I'm 26 now. 126, that's a little unplausible, you know? But just out of curiosity, I want to know, one, did we make a difference that much into the future to see what was on that vinyl? Like, that's one thing. I'm like, man, I'm upset because either one of two things can happen. Either we're going to make necessary changes to be able to still have that, and then everyone 100 years from now gets that song, or the next 5-10 years it's done because pollution's so bad, you know?
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. That's interesting, man.
I like the unknown.
Yeah, but the reason why I wanted to go back to the 80s is because of not because of the music, but because of the way it looks. I wanted to, what I'm trying to say is like for example, you have these old pictures, you look at them, you see the exposure on them, and you don't really focus on the person that that's on the picture, but you focus like on the background, and you see the buildings, you see how everything used to look back in the days. Because I mean, pretty much we don't remember stuff like that when we was kids. You know what I'm saying? We might remember like the things that we was doing at the time, but most of the time we don't remember like how this used to look, how the cars used to look like when kids get off the bus, when stuff like that. People going to work. That's what I'm talking about. You know, the difference between the 80s and the now.
Okay.
The now is like pretty much you don't see nobody in the streets anymore. Unless you'll see the like New Orleans or New York or California or something like that.
Right. But then you look at those pictures and it's like everybody had their own little thing going on, and it was an actual community, as opposed to now where people are afraid to jump outside and be like, "Hey, what's up, bro?"
Right.
Right.
Now, here's a question I have for you.
Okay.
Since we talking about the 80s,
okay,
the safetiness of the neighborhoods, was different.
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly in the 80s because I wasn't there. I'm a 90s baby, so
you're a 90s baby.
But it was
let's
like
not
that
just
then.
say the 80s. Let's say the 90s.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you
I mean, because every era is different. You know, every millennium is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I just think that it's just evolving, and this, since we're talking about, the future and stuff like that, is evolving every day. I mean, the technology is just like taking over. Pretty much. Look what we're doing now.
Yeah, true.
We ain't even touching anything.
Bro, this is witchcraft. if we go back a few hundred years, this is witchcraft.
Right.
Yeah. But I agree with the security aspect that you were saying, because I remember growing up, we didn't have to lock our door.
No.
Like, we just take off and go somewhere. We didn't have to lock our door because we knew everybody in the community, and no one did things that required locked doors. Like, you could tell when it started getting bad because we had door-to-door salesmen selling us, like, home security systems.
Right.
And we were like, what do we need home security systems for? Like, we trust everybody out here. And then, hey, man, somebody broke in my house the other day. I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean? And then from that point on, it was getting worse. But I've heard stories of even before the 90s, like 80s, 70s, 60s, everybody knew everybody. No one was worried about stuff like that unless, there were other causes making people do things like that. But,
well, when I compare the 90s and the 80s and the 2000s, I think about like, because see, back in the days, I remember when I was a kid, we used to sleep on a balcony.
Mm-hmm.
Like
an actual balcony?
Like an actual balcony. See, like in New Orleans, the houses are made different. I mean, like they have 2-story houses, and we have like a whole complex with a balcony and different apartments or different houses. So we used to have the windows open. We used to sleep out there. I mean, it was pretty much safe.
It sounds.
We didn't have to worry about anything, and we didn't have to worry about anybody coming, to rob us or anything like that. But then now you go to the 90s, it's like everybody locked their doors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. And
2000,
now,
it's like
you got
in my house. Oh, you gonna get.
I'm looking at my phone to see who's standing at my door, like recording you. Like, I see
Wait
you.
Wait a minute. Cell phones wasn't out.
Oh, I mean now
in the 2000s.
I mean now. I mean up until like 2019, like everywhere you look, you've got the, what is it called, like eye ring and all that stuff with the camera right above your doorbell. Mm-hmm. And as soon as somebody walks up, the proximity thing pops up.
Yeah.
And it sends an alert to your phone, and you can literally look at your phone in
And you
your
actually
hand
see
and
the
be
person
like,
out there.
"What's going on in my house?" Like, that's crazy
Yeah,
that we're at
like
that.
I said, technology is just taking
Yeah.
over, man. I mean, you know, here's a story. This friend of mine, he was in the Navy back in the 1940s, and he told me, this is what he said. He said, "Do you know that they already had cell phones back then?"
I've seen some
He
pictures.
said, "I seen a cell phone, just like the one you got in your hand." He said,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he passed away, rest in peace. But that's what he said. He said cell phones was already out there.
I've seen.
And we talking about 1940s.
Yeah, there are pictures on. Oh man, I wish I could think of the name of the video, but there was a picture that was taken of this big crowd that was all walking, and there was a woman. She had on like a plaid dress and a nice purse. She looked like someone of that era,
Mm-hmm.
and she had what appeared to be an iPhone in the picture. It was a black and white picture in like, I want to say like 1956. I don't know why that number's in my head, but
Right.
and I was like, huh? But that wasn't the first picture you saw. Like, there were boxing matches where people were taking pictures with big cameras, and then ringside, you have a person holding this thing in their hand, taking pictures. It looks like
A cell phone.
a cell phone, but you're like, that can't be a cell phone because we didn't even have it until, you know, that's crazy. One thing I will say though is about those old time pictures, what you look about. I would say anything 1980s and further. What was up with them not smiling? Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's standing there like mean mugging, like, if I smile it takes my soul type pictures. You know? Like, what was up with that?
Back in the days, I mean,
It was a universal thing too.
This is what I think. I'm gonna say this. See, like now, everybody's taking selfies.
Yeah.
Everybody is actually trying to smile in the picture, and you know, when they say, "Oh, selfie time," you know what I'm saying? Everybody want to take a picture and smile and do this and do the duck face. But back in the days, I think the reason why a lot of people didn't smile is because they wasn't into taking pictures. Your mom used to be like, "Come on, get over there, smile." Nah, ma, I don't want to take a picture.
I used to be like that as a kid with my grandpa.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, back in the days, we wasn't into pictures like that.
Maybe that's what it was.
I think it was force.
I mean, but I'm talking about like all the way back, like 1940s, like right whenever they first started taking pictures.
Oh, you're talking about 1940s?
Like everybody from there up until around like the 80s.
Yeah,
everyone's
I
just
thought
kind
you
of
was talking about like the 80s because we was just talking about the 80s.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's when everybody started smiling.
1930s.
Yeah,
It's like everybody. It's like they kind of like
the picture of like the farmer and his wife with the pitchfork, and they just straight faced.
Yeah, that's weird.
Everybody made that face. I mean, everyone didn't have a pitchfork, but everybody made that face. Like that's somebody weird. Just played the saddest song that they could hear, and everybody's just like holding in a tear. Like,
or like if you see one of those 1930 pictures of, and you see let's say a little girl just looking at the camera, looking
just like staring, like
just looking evil.
Yeah, but you know that's probably a happy little girl. Or then you have the other picture where the sailor's kissing the woman in front of all the people. That conveys a lot of emotion. And then the next picture you see is like 5 guys just standing like in a line, staring into your soul. You know. And I'm like, hey, bro, I'm like, why don't nobody smile?
For real, man.
But I heard you said the duck face.
The duck face, yeah. You were saying something about it.
You know where that came from, right?
No, I don't know where it came from.
So the duck face originated in the porn industry.
Really?
Yeah. Whenever a person would give someone fellatio,
Okay.
that's the face that you would see. Like the lips would be puckered up and down like a duck's bill. That's where that actually came from. It's ridiculous.
Was it animated?
No, somebody just did it one day, and they're like, "Oh, you look like a duck," and you know, like mud duck. but that's where it came from, bro.
I don't have it.
But then after that, everybody started doing like the thing where they stick their tongue out and all that stuff. Like those things were actually in videos of pornographic nature,
right?
And then it stuck for some
all these
reason.
Kids are doing all this stuff and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
Wow.
People don't realize where stuff starts. Just like sagging.
Sagging.
Yeah. Sagging.
Shout out to sagging.
No, sir. No, sir. Okay, so sagging originated in prison. That literally meant that you were available.
Right.
So, I mean, that's where it started. Fun fact, sagging backwards is the word niggas.
Wow.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. You know, because a lot of people in the prison system were African American. So that was literally a way of still putting them down. Oh, they just sagging. Just a bunch of prisoners out there sagging.
Look at them. They sagging.
Yeah. And yeah. Another slick way of keeping them down.
Yeah.
Double meanings. It's crazy. But so since we started it as time versus money as being the topic, and we spent a lot of time on time, let's talk about money. How much money do you think, and this is just for you, how much money do you think is too much for one person?
How much money is too much for one person?
Yeah. Interesting question, right?
Yeah, I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Never thought about that. Like, I mean, I don't think there's enough money for one person. Because, I mean, you know, if you're talking about the greedy side of people, you know, they want all the money.
Yeah.
It's just like people when they win the lottery, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand how can you go from having $25 million lottery winners, and then the next month they broke. I was watching this video the other day about lottery winners. They all dead. Yeah, they did.
That I know what you're saying. I get it. I was like, all of them?
Yes,
but no.
But maybe not all of them, but some of them, you know,
a lot of them get killed.
A lot of them are either they got killed or they
ended up doing something,
some drugs, or you know, and they did.
One guy said it. He said he won the day before he bought his ticket. Somebody said, "Man, what would you do if you won?" Spend it all on drugs and hookers. He said it, and he literally won the lottery. I think he ended up he bought a house for his mom, all the good stuff, and then shortly after, drugs and hookers, OD'd.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
There's a lot of stories about them.
Yeah.
People dying, and they don't even die from like spending the money. Not spending money. What I want to say. It's like a freak death or something.
Yeah.
They die from something like you don't even know.
Yeah. For me, I think
For you,
too much money is a bad thing. It if you look at things from a perspective of taking yourself out of it. Say you're a good person, but you literally are just living paycheck to paycheck, right? And then all of a sudden you don't have to work for any money ever again. Like you can just stop working and you don't have to be a decent person anymore and all that. It'll change you off the top.
money change you.
Yeah. Because that same person who had to beg and plead to get this job to be able to survive, now all of that begging and pleading is going to be like, man, nah, I'm good now. You know?
Right.
So then a person, I don't want to say true colors, because a person's true color is them at their core. I think that if you're capable of doing something with compassion, then you have compassion in you. Some of these people, man, like they get a good check, like from their job, and they, man, you know what? I ain't even trying to hear all that, bro. I'm like, hey, man, like yesterday you was asking me for $20, and now you done got paid. Now you different. But as soon as that money's gone, you come back to reality.
Come back to your humble self.
Right. So
money changing.
So to me, money, the more money you have, just like in almost everyone's rap song, more money, more problems, right? The more money you get, the more people want to be a part of your life who had nothing to do with you prior, which causes a conflict of interest. More times, 9 times out of 10, whenever somebody gets a lot of money or a big lump sum of money, the first thing that they do is they get all the stuff they ever wanted, which there's nothing wrong with it, but they don't think about that number as something that they can actually quantify. And I say that to say you've never had more than $6,000 on you at one time, and then all of a sudden you got $27 million. You'd be like, man, I can go do whatever I want, right?
Right.
And you spending and spending and spending, and next thing you know, you look up and like you said, like it's gone. Because when you hear 27 million, you think to yourself, there's no way I can spend $27 million.
What I think is, if you look at it this way, we don't know. We don't know when we're going to win the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to the gas station, you buy your ticket. It's like nine times out of 10, you won't get it. You won't win.
Oh yeah.
But I think that the people that won the lottery before, the reason why they go and do this crazy stuff, like buy houses, buy cars, and this and that, is because at the time when you bought the ticket and you won, your mentality was different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, we not, like, all of us as individuals, we don't have it together. A lot of people say, "Oh, I got it together because I got a good job. I got my daughters and my sons in college, and I'm a good doctor, or I'm a good lawyer, and stuff like that." So they figure they got their stuff together.
Right.
Mentally, if you take a person from the street and let's say you give him $1, he'll buy the ticket, and he wins the lottery, the mentality of this man, because he was living in the street, is different from somebody that already had, let's say, thousands in the bank.
Big facts.
So, the guy with the thousands in the bank, his mentality is different from the person in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think when people win the lottery, what I'm trying to say is this: when people win the lottery, it depends on your mentality at the time that you get the ticket.
I'm gonna get the stuff that I always wanted off
Right.
top because
this is what I always wanted.
right. I agree with that.
But they don't know how to manage the money because of the mentality. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. So, do you think having that mentality that I don't have anything, now I want everything? No, that's not the question I want to ask. Which mentality
Would be the right mentality to win the lottery?
well, no, not even that. Like, what mentality does a person need to have to be as successful as they need to be, minus the incoming of a lot of money? Literally, just what mentality to you do you think is the best type of mentality to have? Because I know a lot of people who are like, I'm going to get me first and then worry about everybody else mentality. I have the other people who are, I'm going to get them first and then get me last because, whatever. Or then you have some people who are just like, I'm going to let it go however it go. So what kind of mentality do you think you see
Mm-hmm.
the most in successful people?
Okay. What I think is that, for example, we have celebrities that's huge out there. They performing, they making a lot of money. We see the image in front of the TV, or in the image that we see is a whole different person.
So what you're saying is that we're seeing what they want us to see? Because a lot of them are transparent enough.
That's what I'm saying. Because I think they, it's they performers, they actors.
I see that. Some of them, though, are really genuine people, and it's hard to differentiate the genuine from the actors or performers when you're not around them yourself. Which is why I enjoy celebrities, but they're just people. Everyone has flaws.
Right.
So, how do you differentiate whose mentality is the best whenever you don't know if that's their true mentality? Is what I'm saying.
Okay. I think the mentality that you have to have in order to succeed is a selfish mentality. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
You have to be selfish. You have to look out for you. Do you in order to be successful.
I disagree, but I agree at the same time.
Because if you think about, I'm gonna just say this real quick. I'm gonna just give you an example of what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a business owner, you have a business, you have to be selfish. Because you're not gonna pay your employees the same amount that you make, the same amount of money that you're gonna make, or you're making.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be selfish. You
Right.
have to. You like, for example, McDonald's is making trillions and I guess billions of dollars. How much the employees get paid? I mean, according to the minimum wages, it's decent money.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what's $10, $12 an hour compared to how the amount of money that they generating every day? You see what I'm saying? So McDonald's, Burger King, and all those fast food restaurants, they selfish.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're gonna make money. So I think that the difference between the business and the celebrities is you have to treat yourself as a business. So you have to be selfish in order for you to succeed.
I can agree with it, but my thing is, you can be selfish, but at the same time, you need people. I mean, you have to have a consumer.
Well, what I'm saying, I'm not saying like selfish in a bad way, because you have to have people around you to help you. You know what I'm saying? So I think the selfishness part will be that everything that you're doing is have to be something that's gonna benefit you only.
I don't know, man.
Let's talk about J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez.
Okay.
She has a whole team
Mm-hmm.
that she has to take care of, because they take care of her. They make sure that she got the right outfit on. They make sure that she got the right makeup on. They make sure that she got her kids is being watched. They make sure that she has all these people around her. She's selfish in a sense where she's doing all of this to benefit her.
Right.
But I'm not saying like she's treating her team like crap or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm saying that they're not gonna make the same amount of money that she's making, because every show she makes, every show she that she has, she's coming with what, $100,000, maybe more than that. Way more than that.
So
I mean, the average artist, will be making $50,000 to $100,000
mm-hmm.
a night.
Yeah. And I get what you're saying, but my example would be someone like Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle, shout out to Nipsey Hussle, man. Rest in peace.
Yes, sir. But my thing is, I get what you're saying with the selfishness, because of course, like, it brings in revenue for you. Yeah. But with him, it's never been about, oh, it's all me. It's literally, I'm doing what I have to do to make money for me. Yeah. But then I'm using my money to benefit the community. Like, there are so many times where in his music, in his interviews, he's literally saying, okay, I could be buying all these chains and all these cars and all this. He said, but why? He's like, I can buy a chain or a car that literally depreciates as soon as I walk out the building or as soon as I drive it off the lot. He's like, I'm depreciated, as opposed to I'm going to sell this mixtape, sell this album, make this money. Now I have this money, which is good for his selfishness. Cool. But where his selflessness kicks in is, instead of him just saying, oh, this is all my money, he's literally giving it back to the community, saying, hey, I know y'all have a business, and y'all probably have people who are above you who are saying you only can do it this way. I'm gonna buy them out so that it's yours. Do what you want. This is yours. Without him being selfish in the forefront and then being selfless, they couldn't have had that. I mean, literally, when he died, so many people were saying, we're going to lose everything that he worked for us. As successful as he was, I mean, literally, they're saying he's like the next Tupac. He did so much for the community that his death not only hurt his family, people who knew him personally, the entire community, even people who didn't know him. I've never met this man before in my life. I felt like as soon as I heard I was like, nah.
It's like one of your brothers.
Yeah.
Man.
Never met this man before in my life. Heard music, seen his interviews, this, that, and the other. I understand what you mean, like selfish in the forefront. It's about me getting mine. I need to get mine. And he was like that. I got to get mine so that I can give back.
Right.
That's what a lot of people are like that. A lot of people are visibly like that. Like Drake. Drake is known for making millions. And then, like, taking somebody out and, oh, we're going to take you out on a shopping spree. And that looks good for the camera. But at the same time, you like, okay, is that really him? Is that how he works? Or is that just because of a publicity thing? Or what? Because we don't know Drake to always be that guy.
Right.
But since day one, we knew Nip to be that. That's what I say, like, how do you know how to differentiate? Like, the Jenners, or Kardashians, whatever, they have their business mindset. They get their business done. They help other people. But then the people who are close to them, as soon as something doesn't go, quote unquote, according to plan, or whatever, they're quick to turn. But others aren't. Like, nah, this is my day one.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out which mentality. I mean, they have money they probably will never spend in their lifetime. But is that worth it? Is having this mentality worth the life you live?
Gotcha.
The level of success you were at? That's my question to you,
Right.
to the podcast, to anyone listening. That's my question. What mentality do you think you have to reach a level of success that you want to reach? So that being said, I think it's time to go ahead and bring this episode to a close. So we talked about a lot in this one. We talked about time versus money. We elaborated on why we picked time. We elaborated on a few things about money.
Time traveling.
We had a little history lesson with the duck face and all that other stuff. Anything you got to add before we take it out?
Episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3 in the books now. So I'm your host, DJ
With the most.
Hey, host with the most, DJ Impossible. You are now listening to DJ Impossible. And my co-host, aka E. I just like doing ones.
The fat guy.
That's my co-host right there. So on that note, we're gonna go ahead and bring it to a close. But just like any other day, make sure you always keep it a buck. You are now listening to DJ Impossible.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?